Everyone. Hope you all are doing well today. For those of you who are new, I'm Jackie and I am forever faithful. I wanted to talk about some fears today because I think we all, for the most part, experience these fears um, often throughout our lives. And, just realize, not that I've just realized, but I'm just becoming more aware of how paralyzing fears can be. It's like bound in a straitjacket, and how right now there's so much fear being that we're being bombarded by fears. So many different fears from outside external forces. And whether if it is the economy, the political climate, whether if it's fearful on how we're just going to live from day to day, or how we have dreams but we don't know how we're going to get there, how things are going to work out for us. But what I know for myself, and that I've seen even in others, and I've made videos about this before, that it's really, sometimes we get so focused on the fears of what could happen, what will happen, how is this going to happen, that we, in a sense, self sabotage ourselves from making change, from taking that step, from, releasing whatever it is that we know that we need to release. And the thing is, it's like we are, for those who know, being a divine being, like fear is not our portion. It's not truly who we are to fear things, but to demolish those fears in knowing who we really are, our divinity. And I think sometimes that we become so afraid of the unknown that we don't make the changes that we need, that we don't work through our fears by making the changes or taking that step that we know that we need to take. And oftentimes that, fears come from what others are going to think, the judgment of others. But when it's all said and done, we only have one life. And I think it's up to us for us all to live our best lives and to work through these fears, whatever they may be. And I think oftentimes, as I've said before, is that we focus so much on the fears that we end up self-sabotaging ourselves in a way that is not productive at all. So for me, I am, working through these fears. The fears of truly being seen, the fears of truly speaking what is on my mind, on my heart, the fears of, you know, others' perception of me, um, the fears of, wanting and creating a business, but sometimes you don't feel like you're ill-equipped to be that CEO or that business owner. Um, and so we have to talk ourselves off that mountain of fears and know that we can do it and that we are able and that we are capable, and to get ourselves from feeling stuck and allowing ourselves to be paralyzed in a way that we are not making the changes that we need. But ultimately it starts in the mind, knowing that These fears are false. False evidence of being of things being real, but it's not. It's not. Yes, I understand that people do have fears of how they're going to live day to day, for shelter and food and things like that. But again, we are creators. We are creators. I too have some of these fears too, but I'm having to remind myself, and I'm here to remind you that we are all creators. We create our lives, our reality through our thoughts, our mindset. And no one is in control of our mindset except for us. Now, if we allow the external forces to inundate our lives with fears and we accept that to be so, then it will be so. But ultimately, we have the power to control our thoughts, control our actions. And in the end, we have to be our biggest cheerleader. Anyway, so let's all work through our fears, whatever that may be, and know that, because I was just thinking that what would happen if we all faced our fears? What would happen when we let go of our fears and just do whatever it is that we know intuitively that we need to do for ourselves? I think of an elder that I spoke with years ago about her life. And she said if she could do things differently, that she would. She would have taken a different path, made different choices, but she felt that she was too old to do so at that point. And I thought, well, you're never too old to make changes, to have a better life. So I personally don't want to be that person. Looking back on my life with regret because I feared the unknown. And I hope that you will not become that person either, because we all deserve more. We all deserve better. But it really starts with our thoughts and building self-confidence that we are capable of creating the life that we want and to banish these fears for once and for all. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share. Hope you guys enjoy the remainder of your day. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.